Let's face it, how often do you go to your physician or clinic for a checkup? Although you know that the earlier a disease is detected, the easier and more likely it is to be cured. You do the checkup far too rarely. Why? Because it's tedious. Will there be any change in the future? Imagine that in the future, you would no longer have to go to the doctor or clinic for a health checkup and then wait several days for the results. In the future, wearable sensors will monitor us 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, and deliver faster and more precise diagnoses. Pathogens in the body will be detected even before the disease breaks out. At UC Berkeley, for example, wearable sensors have been developed that enable real-time measurements of electrolytes and metabolic products in sweat. The scientists hope that in a few years' time, the technology will replace blood sampling and enable real-time checks on the state of health and indicate, for example, dehydration, fatigue, or hypoglycemia. The sensors can be printed quickly and inexpensively on plastic film. They can be applied to the skin like a patch. The sweat analysis is carried out using integrated microfluidic systems and chemical sensors. In the last 20 years, the number of patents bearing the term microfluidic in their title or abstract has risen from 0 to 1,000 a year. The University of California has developed a sensor patch that uses ultrasound to continuously monitor the person's blood pressure. It is the size of a postage stamp and consists of silicon elastomers. The ultrasound waves are reflected by the blood and picked up by a sensor, which then transmits the data to your smartphone for display and analysis. Years ago, Google developed a contact lens that can measure blood sugar levels. Smartwatches today can even measure the so-called heart rate variability, HRV, a key measure of heart health, and it does so continuously. ECG on the wrist, virtually unthinkable just a few years ago. At the time, we still went to the doctor for an ECG because the doctor had invested enormous amounts of money in the device in his practice. And today, it just comes with a wristwatch. Voice analysis for health, well-being, emotional states, and depression can be done by just listening to your voice. We can assume that such smart patches, fabrics, and devices will integrate more and more diagnostic capabilities and markers. And where will all this lead to? We are taking big steps towards the realization of a bold vision, the universal diagnostic chips, whose sensors monitor our health 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. Implanted like I have one, a VivoKey chip under my skin, or integrated in a smartwatch, or as an earring or a ring on my finger. Once a day, the chip almost imperceptibly collects a little blood and analyzes it. That way, any infectious disease can be detected, like HIV, for example, and most, if not all, types of cancer, from prostate cancer to uterine cancer. Eventually, everything can be seen in the blood. The chip gets the necessary energy from our body heat or from our movements. All data is analyzed by an AI, an artificial intelligence, that is trained over many, many years with the data of billions of people. And it knows everything that medical professionals worldwide manage to learn and can analyze and interpret everything in seconds. You will be advised and coached immediately. All this is already available today in initial approaches such as the app Ada, which explicitly advertises that diseases can be detected as long as they are $10 diseases and not $100,000 diseases. And Amazon recently launched Amazon Care. It will initially be tested for Amazon employees, and any kind of medical advice will be available there for you sometime. This is good for therapy too. In the future, such chips could not only monitor the state of our health, but could even release targeted drugs from depots. Today, it is hard to imagine the huge positive effects that all this will have on our health and our life expectancy, if we can detect the emergence of diseases before they break out. And we cannot imagine how efficient and how cheap healthcare systems could finally become. There is still a long way to go, but we are already on that road. And now, what do you make of it? What questions do you ask yourself? Write it in the comments. I'm curious to learn what you think. Are you a doctor, pharmacist, pharmaceutical manufacturer or dealer, gym owner, sports scientist, manufacturer of fitness equipment, but also of cars, household appliances, furniture, and so on, health insurer, life insurer, medical technician, whatever? These and countless other industries will both experience threats as a result of these changes, and if action is taken in good time, will be able to seize opportunities in these huge future markets. This trend and many other trends and technologies we also discuss at the Leaders Vision Day. It's an event for leaders who want to lead their teams more effectively with a credible and positive vision and strategy. You can find a link here to the Leaders Vision Day. Have a bright future.